One, two. Hi, this is Lori.
This is Peter.
And we're with Action Heroes LA. That's hard to say. Movie review channel. And we are doing part 2 of our Glicked
Yes.
weekend reviews. Although you
And
didn't
we're
make
go-
it all to
No, I didn't make it.
to Wicked at that on when it came out. But anyway,
Right.
though, we're going to be reviewing Wicked, which of course is doing crazy good at the box office. But is
Very
it for
good
everyone? Is it everyone liking this movie, or is it just the same people going back to see it over and over again?
Well, there is. I went with a friend,
Okay.
a guy.
Well, hold on, let me give it some background. Of course, Wicked it's based on a stage play that came out in about 2003, 2004. It's a musical. It's been a hit ever since on Broadway and or touring companies. So it's full on musical. Starring Ariana Grande, Cynthia Erivo, some other people. Michelle Yeoh's in it, who I love.
Yes.
And Jeff Goldblum.
She's
Yeah,
not
sorry,
doing
Peter
any
Dinklage
karate
was in.
though.
No, she doesn't need to do it anyway. But so it's the adaptation, the full on musical adaptation of
Wicked, the stage play.
which the show with the stage play tells the story of the Wicked Witch.
Right.
Is she the East or the West? I forget. She's the West. I forget.
I
But
think
anyway,
she was
her
East.
origin stories, and
Yes.
what if she wasn't actually wicked?
Right.
But we're just she was
Which
kind of
actually, I think they did
pushed
a really
into that
good
role.
job with
okay.
that.
Well, let's go ahead. Let's get into it. So, all right, what did you think of Wicked?
Okay. Well, I do want to say that people who saw, including you, who saw the stage play,
Yeah.
kind of were like, that's, that doesn't get it. It doesn't.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
Other people who've seen. I'm not. I saw the stage play, the musical on stage for the first time this April. I've never listened to it. I tried to listen to the soundtrack years ago. It didn't do anything for me. I've never seen it. Never knew the full story, what was going on until April.
Okay.
So I was fine with it. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I thought it was okay.
Okay.
It wasn't
Well-
one of my favorite musicals.
Well, my friend looked at it and he didn't like it. He
Uh-huh.
liked it a little bit.
Yeah.
If from
Did he see the stage?
The stage.
He did. Okay, and I've heard that from other people who are like really into the stage show. The change of differences. Yeah, it's hard
Yeah.
to like this adaptation.
and we were both, because we got a lot of people who were pushing, saying, and guys who were saying, I know it's a musical, you have to go see it.
Okay,
The,
that's
uh,
interesting.
The movie is a lot better than the stage play.
I disagree with that.
Okay.
They're different, and there are things that I liked. How the stage musical. There are certain things I like that they did better than the movie, and there are certain things that I like that the movie does better than the stage show. And probably why I prefer the movie version is because when I saw the stage show, and this isn't fair because I'm seeing it like 20 something years later after it was innovative, I thought it was the storyline and how it was acted, because it's on stage, felt very young adult novel to me, where I can take that storyline, and the movie, I feel that storyline is more serious
Yes.
and more grounded than I did in the play.
Okay.
So that's where I'm coming from. So I was able to connect and relate to the storyline better in the movie than I was
Yes.
seeing the show.
Well, when I saw the movie, I was waiting for the movie to start.
Okay. It was
And-
just slow for you?
Yeah, it was slow, and the guy, he said, "Well, I've heard that the movie is slow, and then once it picks up, it's got you."
It is a slow. Well, I don't. It's a long movie. It
It
technically
is.
it's a very long movie, and again, I did fall asleep a little bit on this one, even though I
Yeah.
knew what the plot was going to be and everything going
Yes.
forward. But
And
like I kind of just appreciated them trying to build something up, and kind of taking their time to do it. Maybe
Yeah.
they took a little too long. I did hear, you know, other
Well-
people were saying, "Oh yeah, it's long, but you don't feel it." I felt it a little bit.
I felt it a lot.
Okay. Yeah.
One part I'll never forget. I was looking at it and I was going, "Wow, this is really something." The way it's, and this is before they even showed the title
Okay.
on.
It took them a while before they showed the title.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I was looking at it, I was going, "Wow, the Good Witch." I kept going,
Mhm.
"Wow." I think they really made her up, put a lot more makeup. In my case, I kept looking at, she's awfully white.
Okay. Well, she's supposed to be.
Yeah, but to me, it was just like, wow.
Was that
She-
distracting or something?
It was.
Okay.
It was.
That's the point.
And it was like, why? She was so white, she was overly white.
Okay.
I don't know how that could be
See,
a thing, but
yeah.
it was a thing.
Okay. Well, it didn't phase me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because you have this character that's supposed to be perfect and all
Right.
good, who isn't,
Yeah.
and
But-
another character who's supposed to be
Yeah, but I think
all bad, but
I
absolutely
understood that, but it was still distracting.
okay. It was a physical distraction.
Yes.
I didn't think of that at all. I was just really impressed with Ariana Grande, she was hilarious in this movie. I thought she did all of it very funny, but also the like heartfelt and emotional parts where she's supposed to be conflicted. She is supposed to be vain and kind of selfish
Right.
and privileged and all of that,
Right.
and used to people seeing her as this kind of great,
Right. And I wonder
greater than everybody else kind of character.
if that was
But
a
she's-
problem with me in the movie.
Okay,
Maybe it's
like I don't know.
just my own thoughts and stuff. And I kept going, this is terrible, especially when one of the commoners or the people of the village said, "I have to ask you a question." And then we find out, well, she has to pierce the bubble that she leaves
Symbolic.
in. Yeah, in order to open up and hear what the people are saying.
Mm-hmm.
And then after she did, and the girl asked her, "Hey, we heard you were friends with
The Wicked
the
Witch.
Wicked Witch."
Mm-hmm. And this is the beginning of the movie.
Yes.
Okay.
And she said, "Actually, yes."
Uh-huh.
And then almost immediately turned back with but no.
Right. She had to. Yeah. Well, that's her whole journey in the movie, though.
Yes.
That's
yeah.
what the story is about.
And to me, I was
is-
like, "What? Wait, what?"
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
How they became. They weren't. Well, they were. They weren't friends, and then they were friends. They became friends,
yes,
and then kind of like she has to uphold her image,
right.
so
So
she can't.
yes,
Yeah. And there's an understanding with that. It's a sisterhood, y'all. You just can't understand a sisterhood.
I guess I can't. I'm not with the sisterhood.
You're not with the sisterhood. No. So
But as it
that's
kept
the
going
plan.
on,
Yeah.
I thought it was, to me, I thought it was badly written.
Okay.
I couldn't really keep up with a lot of the stuff. And then when they took me and they said, "Okay, here we go," where they dropped me off, that wasn't where I was trying to go.
Okay. Well, this is the show. If you haven't heard by now, the movie only It's a part one. They don't
Part
tell you
one.
that until they flash it on the screen.
Right.
And it goes up until the intermission of the stage show.
Okay.
That's the first act.
Yes.
And
I didn't know it was going to be the movie that it turned out to be.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, what is going on?
Okay.
And my friend Ken, he said, oh, this is a part one? And I said, yes, part one. He goes, I don't think I want to see part two.
Okay.
And I even said, well, it's kind of like you have to see part two if you've taken the time to see part one.
Right. I was like, well, now I have to finish it, even though I didn't enjoy this.
Right.
Okay.
And that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to finish it.
Mm-hmm. But you have to, just to see what the second one.
Yeah.
And we talked about this the other day. It's like sometimes you're watching a movie and you're like, I don't get this. I'm not liking this. I'm not enjoying this. What the hell is going on? Until there's that moment at the end that just like ties everything together, and you're like, oh my God, that was brilliant.
Yes.
I'm not sure that's going to happen with this, but who knows? That might be the thing. I wonder if it would have benefited you if you had seen the musical.
Right.
The stage musical before seeing this and kind of understood the storyline. Well, then that's where if the movie can't help you understand the storyline going in, and there's something that happens in the very beginning.
Yes, that you told
you
me
were
about
confused
that I
about,
totally
but
missed.
in the musical, it's stated straight out in the beginning, right off the bat.
Yes.
You know. This thing, well, I don't know if you want to get into it. We could do spoilers here, so it states off. I knew right off the bat, like Elphaba, the Wicked Witch, her mother had an affair, and she's the product of that. And then her younger sister is the child that the mother had with the husband, her actual husband that she cheated on initially.
Yes.
So that's why their father treats them differently. Which is, that's not uncommon. We're talking about real life type of things.
Which, that made me understand that.
But that didn't come across in the movie, because that's what I'm saying. I know this from the show. That like, okay, they're not, they're half sisters technically, and that's why the dad's kind of an asshole to, Elphaba. There's. I'll get into I enjoyed this movie. Mm-hmm. I really did. I thought it was so well done. I did appreciate. I heard a lot about how they use practical sets and stuff, and not tried to keep CGI stuff to a minimum. And I appreciated that. This is directed by John M. Chu, who did Crazy Rich Asians. But what's more important, and you might not believe it, what he did, he directed these movies, the Step Up movies. Have you heard of those?
No.
These movies are dance movies, kind of. There's a whole series of them. I haven't seen any, but he cut his teeth on staging like dance numbers and things like that. That's one of the things that impressed me about that, like the staging of the dance numbers and all, and the camera work and all of that, and all of that stuff is really good.
Let me ask you, did he do Captain Marvel?
No, I don't think so. No, he did not do that movie.
Oh, because when they were doing
no. So he seemed particularly suited. There was a lot. I love what everything was doing visually, except for the coloring of it, because this is based on the Wizard of Oz, and the story of the Wizard of Oz at least. But you always have the movie of the Wizard of Oz, which is that super bright, exquisite Technicolor, whereas this is kind of like the color's a little drab to me.
Yeah, but one thing I do have to say about this, it was, I would say, it was a story alongside of the Wizard of Oz.
Right, it's the other side of what's going on.
Right.
In the Wizard of Oz, this is the other side of the story that you didn't know about.
Yes. And I wasn't ready for a thinly veiled racism movie.
Okay.
And I tried to get into it, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
but oh man,
Really?
yeah, it was. I hated the movie because of that. But I do have
Because
to
it
say,
broached that subject and made you.
yeah,
Did it
because
just not do it well for you, or
No.
it's just that you weren't expecting it?
no,
and it made
actually,
you
I
uncomfortable?
wasn't expecting it, and
Uh-huh.
it made me uncomfortable because I have seen or been a part of
Mm-hmm.
uh, some of the stuff that they were doing, and I didn't like it at all
Well,
because of that. So,
you didn't find it relatable.
in saying that, that means they did their job
Okay.
excellently.
Okay. So it was effective. You weren't expecting.
Yes.
She's green, for God's sake.
Yeah.
And then they get a black actress to play her too. So it's
Yeah, and that
so,
just
so that it like kind of doubly hits home
yeah.
in the discomfort level.
And even when she tried to do things nice, tried to create something good for a person, the way it turns out, it always just hits hard.
Okay. Okay. Well, so I will say, I really liked this movie. I liked, like I said, I was able to take it. There's a little more serious tone to it for me
Very
than
much
the
so.
stage show that I preferred.
Mhm.
And I love I love the visual. I didn't like the color, but the visuals on everything for the most part. I really love the performances. I thought, like I said, Ariana Grande blew me away with how funny she was at the same time doing the emotional stuff. Cynthia Erivo is an actress I've liked for a number of years now, and she's one of those actresses I'll watch in anything, and she also has one of my favorite great singing voices.
Well, I tell
And
you, I think everybody who acted in the movie, as much as a lot of it I didn't like, they were very good.
it's just everything just really well done.
Yes.
But I will say, it's like I didn't love this movie as much as I wanted to.
Right.
And I do want to see it again. But yeah, I was hoping to love it more. I think it's a great movie. I do. But, it just, maybe because it's only a part one and
Right.
you don't get the whole story and how
Right.
it wraps up, which, the part two is the young adult novelty part more so
Right.
than this part to me. So we'll see how they handle that. But,
I think they could have written it better. They could have handled the winged monkeys
okay.
a lot better. But I think they
Like
purposely
visually or
made
just
it
the
harsh.
storyline of what the
Yeah, because I think it was very harsh.
Okay, in terms, the storyline or just the
Yes, and in terms of how they presented it, they said, "Oh, this monkey looks at birds a lot," and they didn't. I think go into it a little bit more, which I thought they should have.
Okay.
But I think the reason that they didn't was because they needed Alphabet to do something good while creating something
Well,
bad.
the whole it addresses a lot of issues. And we have the race issue. We have we have the treatment of animals. And all of this is kind of like current issues and stuff
Right.
that affects us in
Yeah.
everyday life, and it's represented in a movie that's relatable and everybody understands the Wizard of Oz and knows that. So,
Yes, because even with the
to-
the animals who could teach, and the way they handled that, and maybe, like I said, it was within me. I was seeing nothing but red flags,
Okay.
and maybe that's what the idea was.
Okay. Maybe it was. I don't know what. Yeah. So, I don't know.
Well, to
See,
me,
that's a part I think I dozed off, so I can't really comment if that storyline, that plot line was better handled in the stage show than in the movie. I got more out of it in the stage show. So, but like I said, I have to go back and not fall asleep on me falling asleep on movies. I'm just getting old, or just wearing myself out too much.
Well, there was one part that I fell asleep on.
Yeah.
And because when I woke up, the wizard was there. And I was like,
oh, you missed them going to the Oz.
Yeah, I didn't see them
Yeah.
go to see Oz, and he was
It's
just
like,
there.
you know, and you have people in power who don't really have any talent or gifts, and then you use people who do,
Yes.
particularly people of color. I mean, there's all kind of like relatable commentary this movie makes.
And I saw a lot of that, and it was just hitting too close to home.
Okay, so it just upset you.
Yes.
Okay, that it would.
But I gotta see two, because I gotta see it.
You got to see
finished.
part 2. Would you watch part 1 again or no?
No.
You would not. Okay.
Unless after I've seen part 2, then
Then you have to go
oh,
back.
Oh, I got it.
Okay.
Then I might have to go
Yeah.
back.
I really can't say if it'll make a difference, you know, and we'll see how the movie handles it. So let's wrap this up. So Wicked, you know, any final, well, we just, I guess our final thoughts. I enjoyed it. It's in movie theaters now. I'd like to see it again. I didn't love it like I was hoping to, but maybe I didn't love the musical either. Like so many people seem to. So it's just might not just be my cup of tea, but I just appreciated the hell out of everything. I mean, this is like filmmaking. This was a movie you want to go out to the theaters and see. Like everything is on the screen. Everything is like top-notch quality, whether you don't like the storyline or all that notch. That's, you know, I miss this kind of filmmaking in movies nowadays. It's just, yeah.
And that's probably one thing.
I think that's the appeal
that
too.
I really
That's why.
Do like it is that they did hard physical work to get this movie done.
Right. And I think that's probably why you're getting a lot of like guys saying, "Oh, you got to go see this," is because it's epic. You know, it's epic in a good way.
Yeah.
In a way, a lot of movies just aren't anymore. It's like, okay, I might not like it, but at least like I can be impressed visually on some level. And kind of appreciate the effort and the skill and the talent that went into
the
creating
practical building of the sets
and all that stuff. Anyway, so Wicked is still playing, is still like making lots of money. Go out and see it. I hope to get to see it again before the new year. See if I like it as much. I don't know.
But how long are they going to wait to put out 2?
It's coming out like next year.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They probably filmed it all at the same time.
Okay, yeah.
So anyway, we are out.
We are out.